Video is all about the two major misconceptions that a lot of artists still to this day believe about mixing. So let's dive in. The very first thing is mixing cannot fix a bad recording. If you give me bad tracks, there's no absolute way I can come up with a professional recording out of that. For example, if I give a 5-star chef rotten food, do you think that they're going to be able to create a 5-star meal out of that food? Absolutely not. It's still going to be rotten food at the end of the day. Versus if you gave that 5-star chef some great fresh ingredients, then obviously they're going to create a great 5-star meal for you with those fresh ingredients. It's the same way with mixing. If you give a great mixing engineer terrible tracks, there's only so much they can do. Granted, it'll be a lot better, but it's not going to be at a professional level necessarily. And that's one of the misconceptions too, I think, about just professional mixing engineers in general, is that oftentimes we listen to their tracks and be like, oh man, that sounds so amazing. But they're being given credit for the recording engineer and the band's performance for that song as well. So you can't just assume that mixing is this kind of magical thing that if I give it to this professional, they're going to make it something that it's not. It's not actually true. You still need to give them the goods to be able to do something with that. So the second common misconception that I want to talk about is that mixing cannot fix a bad song. Even if it's recorded well, a bad song is still going to be a bad song. There are some banger songs out there that aren't really very well recorded, but they're still banger songs because the songwriting was so good that regardless of what we did, it didn't really hamper the success of that song in the mixing and mastering stage. So it matters to a certain degree of how well it's recorded, but as long as it's consumable, then it doesn't really matter beyond that. Because if you have a terrible snare sound, but it's a banger song, it doesn't matter. That bad snare will not fix or will not hamper the success of that song. Granted, you can cut out the legs from a hit song. So even if it is a hit song, but you mix it actually really bad, it is going to hamstring the success of that song. But as long as you reach this kind of, bare minimum professional threshold, then you're good to go. The analogy that I like to use on this is lipstick on a pig. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig at the end of the day. Another common analogy is turd polishing, right? If you have a turd and you polish it, it's still going to be a turd at the end of the day. And so great mixing is not going to fix bad songs. While mixing can definitely fix the sonic characteristics of your recording, it can't just magically fix things. If you're interested in my full mixing workflow, if you're frustrated and you cannot figure out what to do when inside of your mix and you're just all over the place randomly applying plugins across the board and you want to be able to mix better and faster in a more measured approach, then I created the ultimate mixing checklist. This is my workflow that I use every single time I sit down to mix a song. Still to this day, I pull up this particular checklist and I mix a song. So make sure you're getting that. It's in the description of this video if you are interested in picking that up. If not, no worries, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.